Hello my dear students. So today we are going to learn about parking studies. Traveling vehicles at one time or the another will need to park for a short or long time. Need for parking space is great in areas where land uses includes. In high density areas, spaces are very expensive. Thus, the space provided for automobile usually has to be divided between their movements and the parking. There are some objectives for the parking study, that why this should be done. To understand the parking planning is an integral part of the transportation planning. Secondly, to know the definition of parking terms. Thirdly, to learn the methodology of parking studies. And lastly, to learn how to find out the space requirement for the parking garages. Now let us see some of the general terms related to the parking studies. So first is parking index. It is nothing but the percentage of ratio of number of parked vehicles to the theoretical number of bays available. It is nothing but an index of number of parked vehicles to number of bays, means stations available. Second, parking volume. It is nothing but the total number of vehicles that park in a study area during specific period of time, usually day. This does not account for a repetition of vehicles. The actual volume of vehicles entered in the area is recorded. Parking volume means how much vehicles are getting parked over the area is called as a parking volume. It is generally calculated for a day. Then parking duration. The duration for which the vehicles may be parked in that particular area, that is bay. Okay. Then parking accumulation. It is nothing but total number of vehicles parked in an area at a specified moment. At what instance they are being kept at a location is nothing but a parking accumulation. Then parking load. Parking load gives the area under the accumulation curve. It can also be obtained by simply multiplying the number of vehicles occupying the parking area at each time interval with the total time interval. It is expressed as the vehicles hours. And lastly, parking turnover. It is the ratio of number of vehicles parked in a duration to the number of parking bays available. This can be expressed as number of vehicles per bay per time duration. So these are the general terminologies which may also be asked in your examination. Now let us focus on what are the types of parking facilities. Generally, when we move around, we also see, or we also have performed, or we also have done parking many a times on road or either on the places provided. So this type of parking facility are divided into two types. One is on-street parking facilities and second is off-street parking facilities. On street, the word itself gives you on road. Off street means at a specified location. Okay. Now, what is on street parking facilities? Let us go in detail. It is also known as curb facilities. It is also known as curb. Make a change here. It should not be CURB. It should be KERB. Curb means already we have studied curb. The stones provided along the roadway. Curb. Okay. Curb. In this type of parking, the vehicles are parked on the curb, which may be designed for parking. Okay. Curb parking is quite convenient for those who could find a suitable space to park their vehicles near the place they wish to stop. But for others who could not find a parking space, it is a problem, and often they may have to park their vehicles at a far off place and walk down to destination. right? Many times we also have faced this same problem. Unless curb parking facility has to be adequately designed in advance while planning a new township. This will ultimately lead to lot of inconvenience and congestion due to decreased road capacity as well as increase in road accidents, right? Then this type of parking is ultimately, as we said, it may be a restricted parking facility. But on the other hand, as the roads are not going to vanish, ultimately this is going to be unlimited and free type. It is also unrestricted type of parking. Also, the restricted curb parking may either be controlled by police or by meters, and a certain fees can be collected from those who park their vehicles at for a certain duration of parking time. So even though the curb parking or on street parking is free of cost, but the government can force the penalty for parking on street. Okay, now there are again several methods of this curb parking or on street parking. This is nothing but a parallel parking. See here now. These are the several types of curb parking: parallel parking, 30-degree parking, 45-degree parking, 60-degree parking, and 90-degree parking. The angle at which the vehicles are parked on street gives you the degree of parking. Now see the first figure. The first figure shows you the parallel parking. Parallel parking means vehicles are parked along the length of the road. Okay, vehicles are parked along the length of the road. Now simply the vehicles are parked along the length of the road where there is no backward movement involved while parking or unparking the vehicle. Okay, simply further you have to move. Hence it is the most safest parking from the accident point of view. Now due to this type of parking, what will happen? Don't go in depth, simply you should know. Ultimately what we are considering, the width of the road is 7 meter, 2 lane, right? So the width of vehicle for the parking, how much it will be required? 2.5 meter, right? 2.5 meter is the standard width of parking for one vehicle. So simply you remember the formula, it is important. N is equal to L upon 6.5. N is equal to L upon 6.5, where N is number of spaces. N is number of spaces. This will be constant throughout for different types also. N is equal to number of spaces. L is curb length in meters. Okay. Now next is 30-degree parking. Now see, and these vehicles are parked at some angle, right? So in 30-degree parking, the vehicles are parked at 30 degree with respect to the road alignment. In this case, more vehicles can be marked compared to parallel parking. Delay cost to the traffic is also minimum in this type of parking. So vehicles are marked at some angle where, now again important formula for this, N is equal to L minus 0.85 upon 5.1. Now 45-degree parking. Okay, this is the figure for 45-degree parking. In 45-degree angle parking, you can see the figure here. Okay, so here what happens is, as the angle of parking increases, more number of vehicles can be parked. Hence, compared to parallel parking and 30-degree parking, more number of vehicles can be accommodated in a 45-degree angle parking. So in both the directions also it can be parked. Now next is 60-degree parking. The vehicles are parked at 60-degree direction to the road. More number of vehicles can be accommodated again in this type of parking. So both the sides it can be parked at an angle of 60-degree. And right angle parking. In this type, the vehicles are parked perpendicular to the direction of the road. Although it consumes maximum width, curb length required is very little. In this type of parking, the vehicles need complex maneuvering and this can cause severe accidents. So this is the type of parking. 90-degree angle parking means vehicles are parked completely at right angle to the curb. Ultimately, width of the vehicle will be facing towards the curb length. Hence, whatever will be the width of parking, 2.5 meter will be acquired along the curb length. Therefore, for 90-degree parking, n is equal to L upon 2.5 is considered. Sorry, not 2.5, it is 25. Okay. Then off-street parking facilities. In many urban centers, some areas are exclusively allotted for parking, which will be at some distance away from the main street of traffic. Such a parking is referred to as off-street parking. This may be operated by either public agencies or private firms. A typical layout of the off-street parking facility is shown in the figure. Off-street parking facility means apart from the road parking or on-street parking, this certain locations are provided only for the parking of the vehicles. This may either be public, this may either be government. Okay, in malls also we see at the basement many times a special parking facility is provided. This is nothing but a off-street parking. Okay, then there are several types of off-street parking. Surface car parking, multi-storied car parking, roof parking, mechanical parks and undercar parks. So we'll simply see the figures related to this. You do not have to go much in depth to this type of off-street parking. So see the first figure, it shows you the surface car parking. So several locations are marked for parking of the each vehicle, and at that location itself the vehicles have to be parked. Now this is along the road, but specific it is prepared, it is not on the roads. Okay, then multi-storied car parking. Several height buildings are provided only for the parking purposes, and proper ramps and everything is provided for the easy movement of vehicles. Then roof car parking means on the roof of any of the buildings, on the roofs special parking bays are provided. Again, it can be done by properly provision of the ramps. Then mechanical car parking means what happens is mechanical lifters are provided to lift the vehicles and keep it one above the other. It can be stacked one above the other by providing the mechanical means of parking. So the figure easily indicates you the parking. First the top vehicles are loaded and then below that another vehicles can be parked. And underground car parking means in entire building the basements are provided for the parking purposes, whereas the rest of the floors can be utilized for any of the purposes. So this is all about the parking facilities.